raining. Looks like the end of the world outside. Let me take a look here, make sure we got audio and visual. Oh, let me fix this as well. Gotta fix something. Oh, it's switched. Okay, good. Excellent. Oh, I can't do the voices because they get upset about that. Cancel me. Let's see. All right. Testing. One more time. All right. Okay, good. So we're good on the audio, man. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? Welcome. I wanted to talk a little bit just to kind of pop in Friday afternoon, man. Pop in a little bit with regards to this whole, I don't even know what you call it, debacle, I guess. Hey, what's up, guys? I like voices. K, Frankie, OD, Allison, Jackie, Carly, Emily, Sean. Oh, today is Friday, so tonight, members, we're doing a Discord, kind of a Discord special, and then we'll watch something after. Yeah, I gotta have the tea, man. That's how I stay calm. I didn't exercise, but I feel like my eyebrows are too fleek. That's kind of weird. I just got a tape, but like he was like, eyebrows? I said, okay, but it's kind of like, it's too clean for me. I don't like that. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird, yo. All right. And we are going to do some call-ins, man. We're going to do some call-ins. Got to zoom it out. I was like, but even zoomed out, it's like sharp as hell. Like, God damn. Jesus Christ. Tell that man to chill out next time. I wanted to do some calls. I'm going to play a small clip with regards to Heidi. And then I'm going to play, I might play this other video that's kind of controversial. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of this. This was sent to me. And it's this woman from Australia, and she's going off about the whole situation. I watched like 1 minute. I have no idea what she says, but she goes off. So I thought we could watch that. Kara, thank you so much for the super chat. So happy you're live. Happy Friday. Hope you have an amazing weekend, Mel. Thank you. I hope you do too. So we're gonna see about this because I think she kind of goes off. Let me see here. I wanted to show. Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about. We'll see if the private investigator calls in. This is some more video and pictures that have been coming out of this guy with the dolls. If you saw the video I posted earlier, this guy is Terence Kelly. He's been apparently following the mother's Facebook, making social media posts. He has a history of this brat obsession, like with the dolls and stuff. More pictures coming out. This is Frozen, right? I don't know, man. And I saw in the comments yesterday, everybody was coming out. People were offended by this and that. Doll collectors were coming to take a stand and be like, hey, we're not all like this. I mean, I didn't say anything about all doll collectors, but, I guess they were kind of jumpy on edge. They're like, this guy doesn't represent us, the doll collectors. Some more of him. I think a lot of his social media has been taken down. I can't find it. Though this one was still active. This is Instagram. Somebody sent this to me last night. That's still active, but like his Facebook stuff has been taken down, and I've heard he has multiple Facebook accounts. And there was the other video too. See if I can show you guys real quick. Terry too. And this I showed in the video earlier as well, where he was kind of like panning around. He got the heart filter or whatever. And it's just really bizarre, strange. And if you watch the video I covered earlier today, he was moved and transported to maximum security. He landed in Jandakot Airport and on his way to Kajurian Prison, one of Perth's toughest jails. Terence was escorted off a Cessna 441 and onto the tarmac by 4 heavily armed Special Operations Group officers who flew up to Carnarvon from Perth early Friday morning. Barefoot and wearing a long-sleeve white t-shirt, Mr. Kelly disembarked on a charter plane just after 1 p.m. before being whisked away in a white van. So it says this jail is home to some of Western Australia's worst criminals of the past 30 years, including Claremont killer Bradley Robert Edwards, the former soldier. What's he doing that? The former soldier who killed Rebels boss Nick Martin. Ooh. And this is some images too. Let me get back to my little. This was him at the airport, which he looks a little bit different in these. I don't know if it's the filters, because I guess the filters does wonders, right? I don't know if it's the filters or what, but he's looking kind of rough, looking different from the other pictures and videos. Barefoot. Guess he's gained weight. I guess we've all gained weight, huh? What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Oh, snap. I didn't even notice that because I didn't look it up. I mean, I don't know if he's winking or if he's just the sun is in his eye. Strange, huh? The other thing, too, I wanted to talk about briefly, and this was, I think a couple of people sent this to me. This guy, I guess Seven Network put his image incorrectly as this guy Terence. And so the story is, supposedly, this man was wrongly identified as the abductor of the Carnarvon toddler Cleo Smith. Terry Flowers, his name is, also known as by his mother's name, Kelly, had his photo plastered all over social media yesterday in connection with the case of the 4-year-old Cleo Smith. He told Something Media he was very excited to hear that Cleo had been found at a home in Carnarvon. I rang my partner and told her they found the baby, that girl. We was happy for her. But soon after, at the hospital with his own child, he got another call. My sister rang me and told me they got my photo up for the person who took the girl. When we saw his photo on social media post, he went to the local police station for assistance. The post was taken down but picked up by a commercial television station, Channel 7. I ended up getting more upset and I had a panic attack in the police station. He was so distressed he ended up needing medical treatment. I got really upset yesterday. It put me in a state where I had to come to the hospital. They gave me medication just to calm me down. Damn. Aaron, hey, what's up, Aaron? Aaron says, so wait, did they arrest him at the airport? Thanks for covering this. I haven't been in the loop. No. He was arrested previously, but they're transferring him now to a high, what is it called? A maximum security prison. They say one of the toughest prisons in Australia, supposedly. And so, I mean, this is the guy we've been covering that's like, it was weird because I think he had Cleo for like 18 days. I think it was 18 days. And he, all over his social media, he had all these posts, all these dolls. I think he was even driving with the dolls and taking selfies with the dolls. This huge collection. Let's see where I put the pictures. They're all over my computer. If I ever get raided and to see all these dolls on my thing and be like, what the hell? Yeah, this huge doll collection. I never seen nothing like this, but big collection. And he was flaunting it too. He was proud of it, you know? Some say that maybe he wanted like a real life doll. He doesn't have any children of his own. That's what they reportedly say. His grandmother died recently, like a year ago. They said that he used to walk around everywhere up until his grandmother died. Then out of nowhere, this vehicle shows up, the Mazda, the blue Mazda. I love taking my dolls for a drive around and doing their hair and taking selfies in public. I don't know, man. Does he have some sort of mental illness? Is he trying to relive his childhood? Is he trying to just recreate what he didn't have? You know, who are his friends? Who's his family? And he got his hair sleek too. Hey, Jerry curl. Well, what I wanted to do, this is what I think we're going to do before we get to calls. I want to play this video clip. I'm a little apprehensive, but supposedly this is like I think this is a local. And she's going off. We're going to play this, and then we're going to check on this new update with Heidi, which is so crazy to me because this Heidi thing, I feel like this is a story that's like snowballing and it's getting bigger. And now there's video of this guy, Jason, her boss, 2 days after she went missing, showing up to her house. I mean, you could spin it like maybe he's just showing up out of concern, but the ex-husband has been saying that like, hey, I think this guy Jason's involved. I think he has something to do with it. This guy Jason has been previously charged with like 49 million or whatever amount it is in fraud. Just crazy, crazy stuff. So let's do this first. Let's hear what she has to say. Don't cancel me.
Peeps.
And if you could hit like, I'd appreciate it. Por favor. Gracias.
I fell asleep on dialysis today. I was a bit buggered after my reflexology on my feet and that today. But I'm back home. Yeah, news is getting ready now. I had Aiden ring me this morning because he was home on Facebook and people commenting on our post, remove that person's name. So I did back then because I didn't want to deal with any bullshit. But now, you know, I'm awake and I'm back home, and I tell you now, it's on news here, but I tell you now, they want to be clear. They want to be very clear what's happened and what's gone on and where they got the news from and everything. Now, they told me not to name him, but I don't give a fuck. His name is Terence. Sorry, I did say Clarence this morning because that's what I thought my cousin said Clarence last, but it was Terence. Terence Kelly, and he's a Bruffo. He's a Forrest, and he's a Dalgety. You know, he comes off all those families, you know. And guess what? I've been calling out this particular family for the last 6 months. The last 6 months here in Western Australia. But you know what? Police did fuck all. I had the detective come out and visit me 3 months ago. Now this Terence Kelly, Bruffo, Forrest, Dalgety, well, Terence Kelly, I'll call him, because that's the Kelly family, and the Simpson families I've been calling out. Now, Terence has lived in Mount Magnet basically his whole life. I've been calling out. He might be a cousin, he could be his nephew, brother, but he's related to Ronald Simpson. And I tell you now, he's connected with Ronald Simpson. Drugs are involved. Mervyn Eads, Sandy Davies. I don't give a fuck. Take me to court, all of yous. Yous are all involved. This young man here, that man, yawn, that poor little girl. Drugs are involved. The mother knows more. The mother or that stepdad knows more. They're involved with these other mob as well. Because it's a pedophilia ring I've been calling out, where we've got our own mob, black fellas involved. Ronald Simpson, his family, for this Terence Kelly, and this Terry Kelly, he grew up in Mount Magnet his whole life too. And I'm sure I've heard his name and I've had his name sent to me through my messages or written it somewhere in my notes over the last 6 months. Terence Kelly, you're a part of your ring with Ronald Simpson, Sandy Davies, the DCP involved, the police officers are involved as well. Police want to be truthful about everything that's gone on. You's never uncracked this case. You's never uncracked this case yourselves. Another young Aboriginal Yamaji man came to yous 3 days ago and told yous. Yous didn't even want to listen to him. He peeped over the fence and told yous all what he'd seen and what he'd saw, his observations. 3 days ago.
So she's claiming that somebody else had seen, and like I said, I don't know the validity at all to this, but this is a local, but she's claiming that somebody else saw this guy and notified police and supposedly ignored him.
All that money you spent not listening. And yet that black fella involved, who had that little girl, he does know that mother and he does know that stepdad. And he's also part of Ronald Simpson. Yeah, Jeff fucking Gallup, Mark McGowan, fuck. Mark McGowan, you know, fucking Labor. You know, when he was going to do your job, Simone McGurk sent me an email 3-4 months ago in regards to my concerns. Spoke a lot of bullshit in that email, but I'll bring that up after. But yeah, because enough's enough. Simone McGurk knows what's happening. I had the big main detective come out to my house. And see that detective, Rob? I'm sure that's Rob who bloody reopened my case 6 years ago. My case was the only case ever heard in Australia last. And yet sexual abuse is rife in our communities, throughout our state, throughout this country. Police are involved in this. DCP workers are involved too. This whole ring. You know, Aboriginal workers need to speak up. You know, enough's enough. White fellas need to speak up, you know. Enough's enough. You got that there's that white fella Keith going around, but he's doing it for the wrong reasons. You know. This is sad. This is wrong. Sexual abuse is rife in our communities. Now, what notes or what information are they going on, you know? I gave them a lot of information. We gave them a lot of information, I did. And one of my little cousins, who was, you know, who I was supporting at the time, you know. And then all those people who rang me, those women who were speaking out, enough's enough. Those black women there, you know, right throughout our merchants and Yamaji country, enough's enough. These black fellas got to be called up because I don't give a fuck. And I'm not going to remove any more with what I'm going to say. Because Terence, Kelly, Forrest, Bruffo, Dalgety, whichever mob you want to be from, but you're Terence Kelly, you grew up in Mount Magnet your whole life. Your whole fucking life, and I knew it because your name came up. Your name came up in the last 6 months. I've got it written down and documented somewhere. So, yeah, go away. And please, people, don't tell me to remove his name or never say his name because it will impede the police case. Police are involved. Police are fucking involved in the undercover shit that's going on. So they want to open up because remember that detective about a month ago or a couple of months ago that got found for pornography in Geraldton? The police officer in Geraldton? He's a part of it. Remember them other 2 young girls that came out about being sexually abused by family members? Well, they're in Geraldton, but fuck all got done there. It got hushed after. You know, when you Harry Nanups get done here down in Mandra, they get shut up and hushed, you know? Fuck. You know, you had your Fred Collards. Your old Fred Collard put on a pedestal there down in Fremantle Council, and they still put him on a pedestal, his family. You know, enough's enough what's happening in our community. Police did fuck all. Look here, back on here now. Police did nothing. You know, it's others who've been reporting, because I had that detective. I had the main detective who deals with the sexual abuse statewide. And everything in the pedophilia ring statewide, come and sit at my house. Come and sit at my kitchen table. And I tell you now, you know, it's sad that West Australian government allow this to happen. They allow this to happen. You know, then their little reward, what? Their little reward was to, I don't know, make as though they're doing their job when it was in their own backyard that old time. Their own backyard that old time. And they allow the pedophilia ring to continue because they have the Freemasons set up in these communities. You know, we got head office here in Fremantle.
I don't know all these people that she's name dropping. I'm just like, oh Lord.
Then you've got the newest building in Mount Magnet of all places, where Terence Kelly grew up in Mount Magnet, you know, his whole life. And now, please, you going to do anything? Simone McGurk, you going to do anything? Well, I've been telling Hannah McGlade, but, you know, Hannah McGlade told me to shut up when I first started calling out the sexual abuse on Facebook. You know, that sister girl really hurt me back then, but, you know, I still loved her, respected her and what she said. But I never stopped speaking, and I told her
Somebody said cute pill in the Outback.
that in a good way. And I said how I felt, disrespected back then, because of all women to say something like that, I didn't expect it to come from her. Not a human rights lawyer, not a woman Aboriginal woman who's been through sexual abuse. But that's what Hannah McGlade told me back when I started calling out about sexual abuse back in Western Australia. But yet these women, academic women like Hannah, well, she's an academic woman who sat in an office, never down on community. And the thing is, there's a difference. I'm an academic black woman who's worked in my community, hands-on, dealing with my people's problems. So I do know what I speak about, you know. And I'm sick of people like Hannah, like your organisations, Nyala Maya, your Mervyn Eads, because Mervyn Eads is a part of this. Because him and Sandy Davies, Marianne Edlin McKay, your finger in the pie there too, dear, somewhere. You support these people because you and Sandy Davies, oh, that's your big brother. You know, and Sandy Davies, your time coming, old boy, your time coming. You sat in grams for too long to allow all this shit to happen. You've sat in grams too long. You need to be accountable, Sandy Davies. I'm calling you out right now, Sandy Davies. You need to stand down from grams. You know this young man too. Sandy Davies knows Terence Kelly. You know, like he knows fucking Ronald Simpson and them all. Sandy Davies. He's the chair of the Aboriginal Regional.
I'm gonna cut this for now. I don't know, because the thing is, I feel like because I don't know anything about over there in Australia. She's naming all these people. Maybe the Australian people can say something after. She's dropping a lot, but anyway, we're gonna leave that right there for now. The other little quick thing I wanted to talk about was Heidi Planck. I've been covering this lady. I have a playlist on the channel, and I just wanted to show you this brief clip. And when you do call, or when I do calls, we can do either Terence or Heidi or both. But just check this out, because I was blown away by this.
To find her, and an especially difficult day for Heidi Planck's family as her young son celebrated a birthday without his mother. Kick On Stacey Butler has more on the efforts to find her tonight.
We're definitely tired, but we won't stop.
As Heidi Planck's friends continue to put up flyers for the missing mom, this time in West LA, tonight they have one thing on their minds.
Heidi's son, whose birthday is today, and the best gift we could give him would be to bring his mom home.
Today of all days, especially, he's on our mind, he's in our hearts.
On his 11th birthday, friends say he is home with his dad, Jim Wayne.
Just having a quiet night with family. It's been a pretty emotional time.
It's been nearly 3 weeks and still no sign of the 39-year-old last seen on this security tape leaving for her son's football game. Her ex-husband Wayne says he suspects her disappearance may be linked to her job as the financial controller of Camden Capital Partners, a local investment company. Her boss, Jason Sugarman, and others are being investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission for stealing $43 million from unwitting pension funds. Law enforcement has not said Sugarman is connected to Heidi's disappearance in any way. We obtained this security tape from outside Heidi's home in Palms a day or two after she was last seen. Neighbors confirm it is Jason Sugarman. He appears to ring her doorbell, then leaves muffins on the doorstep. As LAPD detectives continue to investigate, her friends won't stop the search.
Either it's foul play and we fear the worst, or she's smart and she's hiding somewhere for a reason that is yet to be determined.
Heidi's friend.
This is the woman that went missing October 17, and she went to her son's football game. The ex-husband was there as well. They co-parent, or they share custody, and she leaves abruptly at halftime, and she's never seen again. Now, her dog that same day was found on the top floor of like this high-rise, the 28th floor of this high-rise apartment, and she's not there. Super weird, super bizarre. And she also has a boyfriend we mentioned previously on the last video, and she supposedly last texted him saying that she wishes he was there and that she was afraid, and that's it. So
friends tell me
I don't know.
That Sugarman is connected
Super
to
bizarre.
Heidi's disappearance in any way. We obtained this security tape from outside.
And this guy, Jason, supposedly, according to the ex-husband, has had the assistant call Jim Wayne, and the assistant says, "I want the laptop back," and then also allegedly accuses Heidi of siphoning money from the company. and supposedly as well, they sent him like her personal bank account information and stuff like that. So super weird and bizarre. Yeah. Oh yeah. So let me see here real quick if I can call my friend here. I think he's going to talk about the Cleo stuff and this Terence guy. Then maybe we'll do some calls. See if he answers. Hello? Nothing. All right, let me get the calls here. Let me try one more time. One more time.
Hello.
Hey.
What's the latest?
What's up, man? Welcome. Now I was just talking a little bit about this guy, Terence, from Australia, and then also a little bit about Heidi. But kind of mostly focusing on Terence a little bit, and the guy obsessed with dolls, and he had Cleo, I think, for like 18 days. Just super, I don't know, man, bizarre and weird. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody having some sort of obsession like that. I'm sure it's out there.
Well, I can tell you this. I've looked into it a little bit, obviously watching your show and discussing it with some people. But, listen, when people, and I do a lot of camping. I have a truck camper, and I've had RVs and stuff. Just because you're at a campground doesn't mean you're safe. Look at all the cases out there with young children that go missing either because of wild animals or fall into a river or a lake or just wander off. There is a whole hell of a lot of scary people that hang out at those places, especially with the lack of eyes and police protection and or security at those places. I mean, sometimes they're in the middle of nowhere. Now, this is in Australia, correct?
Yeah, Western Australia.
Yeah. You ever been to Australia?
No. Have you?
Okay. No, it's a 20-hour flight, and it looks like Sarasota, Florida. I will never go to Australia. You can go to Sarasota, Florida. It looks just like Australia, except there's no kangaroos. But what really, really was scary is how did nobody notice this guy? I mean, he walks into a campground in Australia looking like he just walked out of a thriller. Like he just walked out of a thriller video. I mean, I had no idea black guys still had jerry curls. I mean, if that isn't an absolute tip-off, listen, there's several different kinds of people I won't go around or hang out with. Any white guy with a facial tattoo, black guys in 2021 with jerry curls, and any guy that plays with dolls. I mean, those are three, and I'm not talking about a G.I. Joe or maybe somebody collects He-Man. I'm talking about, like, if you're a grown man and you have Care Bears or Rainbow Bright, or what was that other little douchebag that was on TV all the girls collected when we were younger? I'm in my early 40s. Strawberry Shortcake. If you're a grown man and you have a collection of strawberry shortcakes, then yeah, I mean, it's amazing and it's terrifying that these people are wandering around. But it's easier to get away with a lot of these things at these campgrounds. Have you done much camping? Have you ever been to a place like that or slept in a tent or any of that deal?
Only once when I was a kid. It was like a school trip, and we had tents, and we stayed for like a week or something and cooked and stuff like that. But that was the only time.
Yeah, I used to, and you know what? I didn't do a lot of camping when I was a kid, and I'll tell you just a real quick story, not to make light of this, but I had an uncle, and everybody has an uncle like this. And he used to always say, if you went camping and you woke up and your butt hurt, would you tell anybody? And I'm like, well, no. And then he would always say, well, you want to go camping? And I never understood that when I was young. And then later on, I realized what he was talking about. But listen, camping is one of those things where if you have children, you have got to be extremely careful. And I've even been to campgrounds where I've seen infants and kids in cribs and stuff, and I just don't get it. But listen, that guy was terrifying enough just looking at him, but how did he not stick out more so?
That's what I'm wondering too, because, and I mean, yeah, how did he get to that campground? Nobody noticed him. I mean, he had to be watching for a while, I would think. I mean, if he didn't know the parents, just random selection, just happened to be randomly out there. Does he go out there often? They also said that there's a doll supposedly named, I think it's spelled a little differently, Cloe, that maybe he was trying to, like, since he had that obsession, get her particularly because of her name, Cleo.
The longer I've been a private investigator, the less I believe in coincidence. And I've worked in a lot of cases, and you just wonder, what happened here, what happened there, and then you find that little intricate detail. And you see that there really is no coincidence the more you dig into a situation like this. And by the way, kudos on you, not to totally change gears here, on that other story that you worked on over in Houston. My goodness, you had more updated information than any of the news outlets that were out there. It was incredible.
Thanks, with the boys? That crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah. They were there with skeletal remains for months and months, almost a year, I guess, the kids.
Yeah. And I haven't worked too many cases like that. You and I talked off the air, and I did work one case in northeastern Ohio where a guy, the family couldn't find him, and they hired me to go look at his house or do a kind of like a welfare check. They didn't want to get the cops involved. They didn't want to scare anybody. And he had been deceased for quite some time, but his two dogs were still okay. And he had been dead a couple of months. Well, the dogs had obviously eaten him while he was, dead.
Oh.
It was the only food left in the house. This obviously is a little bit different, especially when it involves children and stuff like that. But I mean, the amount of wacky shit that's going on out there right now is just absolutely incredible. We used to hear one or two of these a month. Now there's 3 of these things a day.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because the day we're in, where like this stuff is kind of more out there and kind of more like you have to accept it. And so people just see this kind of stuff and they just, I guess it's just normal, I guess, like, I don't know, with a bunch of dolls. I was thinking about this the other day. Like if I were to go to one of my friends' house, one of my guy friends, and I was to walk in there and there's dolls everywhere, I'd be completely freaked out. It'd be super abnormal. I'd be like, what is going on here?
Yeah, listen, if I ever went to one, I've been to my friend's house and he had a New York Jets poster on the wall. I didn't talk to him for 2 weeks. If I went over there and he had... If I went over there and he had a bunch of dolls, I mean, we'd have to sit down and talk. But, hey, listen, everybody collects something. I've seen guys that collect stuff, women that collect stuff. I mean,
right.
But you have to wonder what the background of something like that is. But like I said, less and less more do I believe in coincidence. I did not realize you've only been camping one time. Of course, looking at your lifestyle, you're used to the 5-star resorts and hotels. You couldn't possibly spend the night in a hotel that wasn't 5-star or camp with the common people. Of course, you were shuttled around in limos and first-class flights, so you couldn't understand how something like this could go on. But, absolutely incredible. By the way, I can understand going camping in Vermont, maybe Pennsylvania, possibly the Carolinas. There's shit in Australia that would kill you. I mean, there's snakes and all kinds of goofy shit out there. I mean, I grew up in South Florida just like you did. I mean, we see alligators and rattlesnakes, and I wouldn't camp out there. But I mean, in Australia, I mean, don't they still have like dinosaurs and stuff? I mean, I don't know that. I don't know that I'd be hanging around in the wilderness in a canvas tent, and people would be just one of many things I think could harm me out there. But then again, what do I know?
Yeah, it was a tent with like multiple entrances, and the parents slept in a different side, like it was a divider, and so the kids slept on the other side. I mean, it's interesting that he just took one child. I guess maybe that was easier to just take one. His home here also, like I think like all the windows are kind of like blacked out or something. Like he had everything just so you couldn't see inside or see what's going on. They did notice him going to the store and buying diapers, and I guess it was for the girl. So I mean, I don't know, man. Super strange. I like you said, I do wonder what was his childhood like. Where's his parents at? Does he have some sort of mental issue? And then, like you said, there's a bunch of people too out there that they do have these. They collect things, and they're not necessarily, having issues like this or going out looking for kids and stuff. So,
I mean, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. I mean, you're not safe anywhere. Children are not safe anywhere, and people need to teach their kids. I know you want to be respectful and all that, but I remember stranger danger when I was in school. We had Mr. Yuck stickers. We had all kinds of stuff that would let parents know if a kid fell in a pool, if some man was trying to abduct you, now kids these days, I mean, they could get abducted, and unless they texted their parents wouldn't know. You have got to make your kids aware of their surroundings, no matter how small they are. I don't care if they're 3, 5, scream if they don't know somebody. It's just, that is not an easy thing to do. And, but like I said, I don't believe in any coincidences. It's terrifying. People need to know. I think I talked about this on your show before, and there's a gift going around, and don't ask me what the company is, but there is now this disc where parents can sew it in their children's shoes or in their backpack, their school backpack, even put it in a sort of a makeshift lunchbox. They could sew it onto a lunchbox if it's not a hard lunchbox. And it's a tracking device.
Right.
And,
I've heard of that.
yeah, and it's almost like a kind of an adult version of one of those things you put on your keychain in case you lose it. And, more and more these days, I think people should look into those type of devices. People spend $1,500 on an iPhone. Maybe they should put one of these things in their kids' backpacks or in their shoes or whatever, and you'd be able to find these children like this a hell of a lot quicker. But, God bless everybody involved. Hopefully they don't hopefully they, this kind of stuff doesn't persist. But the guy in itself is a little bit bizarre. I mean, when was the last time you saw anybody with a jerry curl?
I don't remember, man. It's been a long time. I don't know. Yeah.
See, you're not old enough to remember when all the rap stars like Dr. Dre and Eazy-E, they all had Ice Cube. They all had jerry curls back in the day. That was like the thing. You know what I mean? And but maybe this guy was trying to rock it and bring it back. I don't know. But, yeah, if you're a grown man and you're collecting dolls, you got a whole set of issues.
Yeah, agreed, man.
But I wanted to tell you that because of your show, we have solved 2 more cases. And I appreciate everybody out there calling me. I'll make the same offer I do now before I get out of here. But if that's okay, I'd like to share it with you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
So we had 2 cases since I've been on your show, and some people know, some don't. I'm a licensed private investigator. My company is based out of Biloxi, Mississippi, called Gulf Coast Investigation. Primarily, I do missing persons and recovery work, missing Super Bowl rings, or even a vehicle. But I've done primarily people. I do other cases as well, and your show has led us to find an infant that had been missing, and we found the baby and the baby's mother, who were both kind of missing from the father in Illinois. And some other, we talked about that, but I've got another one. We had a case from your show that was kind of interesting, where a man called me who had been getting strange letters delivered to his house and signs put up around his neighborhood in New Hampshire. These signs were depicting him as a rapist. And this guy never even had a speeding ticket in his life. He had been married 35 years, and just an absolutely scary deal. The scariest part is this guy no longer lived in the house that the letters were being delivered to. His daughter now lives in that residence with her 3 small children and also her sister. She's divorced. And we tackled that case and pretty much were able to bring it to an end in the last couple of days. And that is just one of your listeners who listen to me on your show, follows you, likes what you do, religiously listens and watches you on YouTube, and called me up. And if there is anybody out there who needs help that listens to this program, give me a call. I don't mind looking into stuff for you. I found a couple of deadbeat dads people were looking for, and some other family members. And, while I don't mind looking for your ex-girlfriend in high school, we found some little more high-profile stuff like this. But if I can give out my number, I'd love to do it and let people know how to get. Hey, listen, if you want to get a hold of me, my telephone number is simple. It is 813-993-2242, 813-993-2242. 2242. I'm a private investigator. No job is too big, too small. If you listen to this show, give me a chance. Give me a call. I'll see if I can't help you. Even if you just want a background check looked or whatever, give me a ring and we'll see if we can't solve some more of these things. But to date, that's almost a dozen cases just through your show that people have just called me. You'll get me. I'm the only guy that owns and works at the business, so you'll get me. And my background is not as a police officer or anything to do with the military or FBI. I'm actually, I have a pro football background, so I handle it a little bit different than most, and I'm willing to help anybody at any time if they want to give me a call for any big or small situation they might have anywhere in the country that they're at. I did have one unique one I wasn't able to help out. Can I tell you about that real quick?
Yeah. And I kind of want to put you onto a story too. I mean, I might reach out to you after, but Jason Sywick, I was thinking because they kind of need some help. But
tell me a little bit about it.
He's this guy that disappeared from Kansas City, Kansas. He went up to meet with this woman at a hotel, And the following morning, I believe he calls his father. He says he needs help. His window to the car is broken in. I believe it might have had something to do with drugs. I have some audio recording that hasn't been released yet of this woman telling the story. She's currently locked up now, but I believe it was like multiple people in that hotel. It wasn't just the two of them. I don't know if it was a setup or something like that, something really dirty about it, but he is still missing. Parents don't know where he's at. He has a child named Jace. I forget how old he is. Just completely missing. But I think it had something to do with like drugs and things like that.
Well, listen, never, ever, ever go meet somebody you don't know if you're a guy at a hotel unless the chick is an incredibly hot bra. If she's a 9 or a 10, you risk it. Anything less than that, don't go to the hotel. Definitely send me the story, though. I would like to look into it. And the craziest call I had from your show was a lady from Russia who was living in Portland, Oregon. And this, man, I can't make this up. And you and I haven't spoken about this. She called me and told me that she had been dating a guy who was Native American and that they had broken up about 1.5 years ago. And he was continuing to put curses on her and that he said that he was going to burn her house down. And the wildfires started in Oregon. She blamed him for this. She also said that he would get her and she got in a car accident. She wanted to know what I could do to get him to lift the curse off of their relationship. And I told her what any good private investigator would for $5,000, I could make that happen.
Okay. What
she
happened?
didn't take me. She didn't take me up on. No, I did not say that. I would not charge somebody with that. So, she said that she had been to psychics. And by the way, I'm going to say one other thing real quick on your show, and then I'm going to let you go. And this is going to get me some heat, but it's true. I don't mind psychics. I don't mind psychics calling me. But if you're a psychic and you want to help me with any of the cases I've worked on or am working on, and right now the only case I'm working on is Lori Cockrell. Lori Cockrell's a missing woman out of Tupelo, Mississippi, and it's the only case in my career I've not been able to solve, but we're working on it. And I'd like anybody's help to look into it. Big family, big money, high-to-do family, and in Mississippi, Lori Cockrell went missing. Everybody can go look that up. But if you're a psychic and you want to tell me where somebody is, first of all, tell me who's going to win this weekend in the Alabama college football game or on Monday Night Football, and I will hire you, I will listen to you, I will bring you on. If you are a psychic, wouldn't you use some of your powers to, I don't know, bet on sports or play blackjack? Do you know how many psychics call me and when I say, well, listen, they're near water or they're in a basement. If every psychic that called me was right, everybody missing would be in a basement or near water. And 80% of the world lives near water. But if you're a psychic and you want to call me and you want to help me out with any of the cases, I will take your calls. You have my number at 813-993-2242. But you're going to at least have to tell me who's going to win the Lakers game tonight. And if you can guess the score, I'll hire you. What do you think? Sound good?
Sounds good, man. I appreciate the call, dude. Yeah, we'll talk more.
Keep me in the loop. And how long until we can get you to grow out a Jerry curl? Could you come up with that? Could you pull that off?
They're getting on you in the comments. They're saying you're racist or something because of that.
I'm racist. Let me real quick. I am a white guy, right? So I guess I could be racist, right? But let me tell you real quick my background for everybody. I am a graduate of Clark Atlanta University. That is the same campus that Martin Luther King went. My major in college was Black history. Anybody who doesn't like what I say and says that I'm racist really needs to do some background on me. I was the only white student at a college of 17,000 in the late 90s and played my college football at Clark Atlanta University, an HBCU. For almost 4 years, I never had a white teacher, white friend on campus, or white teammate playing college football. So it's easy to throw that, but you really got to do some background check to see who you are, because I'm one of the top private investigators in the country at helping minorities, and you could just look up the Gloria Alvarado case involved in that. God bless, Icky. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, man. Love you, dude. Thank you. All right, take care. He did solve the Gloria Alvarado. I mean, legitimately, I was covering that story, and then he solved that case. That's why I get him on sometimes. And people, families and stuff, I've been calling him. He's super blunt. People they have a hard time taking him, listening to him. But yeah, that's my guy, man. What? Really? You canceled? No. Let's see if we can do some calls. I just kind of wanted to get the feel for what people are thinking about Terence. I feel like there's more that's going to come out. I saw somebody in the chat saying something about his Instagram and who he follows, and I mean, do you guys think this was just completely random? He just, I mean, it's possible, right? It's just completely random. He came up across his family, and or has he been like watching them for a while? I'm gonna call in real quick. Let's see. Do a couple of calls if we can. Already got canceled like 20 times on the stream. Canceled.
Thank you for calling.
Oh man.
You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
As far as the guy's hair, I don't know. I don't know what it is. At first, there was one thing I thought like maybe he had a wig on, but it could be just curly treated hair. Like he could have. I thought maybe he got a perm or something like that. I don't really know too much about the hair stuff or whatever. But this looks more like what his hair probably normally is like, and then I guess he just put some stuff in there to get it like to get it to drip, get the drip on. 732. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi, iCkEdMeL.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, it's Leanne. How are you?
Hey, good. Thanks for calling.
Okay, I feel really bad for Cleo's mom because I was one of the girls who was like, she did something to her, and now I feel really bad. But that police department is phenomenal. They did such a good job, and I hope they can do that with all the kids. I have hope now for little Summer since Cleo's been found.
Well, I mean, it seems like to me, I don't know how this stuff works out there, but it seems like to me that they went all out. Like they did a lot of work. They pulled out they did the $1 million reward. They got helicopters, drones, all kinds of machines.
$1 million bucks. That was crazy.
Yeah. They went over the top.
Wow. Yeah. And your guy was cool as shit. I like him.
Thank you. Yeah, he's super blunt. I mean, I know a lot of people, especially online, they can't have those, we got to be super whatever, television or corporate.
God bless him. He found the little girl.
Yeah, I know for sure Gloria Alvarado, he's done.
Yeah, Gloria.
Yeah. And he's doing a couple other cases. So
that's cool. I'd call him if I knew him missing somebody. I'd call him. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just want to apologize. That I talked down about the mom and that I thought that they did something. I feel really horrible about that. I feel like a two-faced person, because now I'm so happy and like, God bless her mom and the boyfriend, and yeah, but I was dogging her, before they found her. But that's what I wanted to say.
Well, I appreciate you calling, and saying that and kind of, admitting it. So
yeah. All right, love your show, love you,
thanks.
and
love
keep
you too.
it going.
All right, take
Bye.
care. Bye. Yeah, this is why we had those conversations before, where I say like we have to be careful about assuming and stuff like that. I mean, it is one thing to like have an opinion, but then there's people out there that do like witch hunts, and they're like, they track them down and they start DMing them and messaging their family and their jobs and all that. People take things to a whole nother level. I'm not saying she did that, but with this story too, I feel like there's going to be more that comes out. I feel like this is still, but who knows if they'll even tell us. Like Australia does things kind of their own way. So maybe they won't even tell us. Maybe that's, 323, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Call from DC.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. I just wanted to just clarify and set the record in regards to this gentleman's hair, the Australian gentleman's hair in his race.
Yes. It's
First
what?
off, he's not black. He's not black.
Uh-huh.
He's Aboriginal, and they have no relation to Africa or African American or anything Africa related. And Aboriginal people, their hair is usually South Pacific style and grows straight. And
so that hairstyle is like, it's kind of like normal or whatever. Like
it's native to the native people of Australia. Those are the native Indians of Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, so
because that lady that was out there in Australia, she was referring to him as black too. So I was like, I don't know what they refer to themselves as, but you know.
And I feel like that even channels back to just the original forms of racism of, you know, white people looking at people with a darker complexion and calling them black. That's what that goes back to.
Even the lady, she looked Aboriginal to me too, and she was referred to him as black, but I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Did you see the beginning of the stream?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the lady
Okay.
refer to other people as black, but I'm saying culturally that could be something that they grow up there with, you know, as being labeled black and so they're black. But you know, that's
well,
kind
thanks.
of a
Yeah, I
racial
appreciate
thing.
it.
That's not clear. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you. All right, yeah, he called in to clear it up. Yeah, I have no idea. Like some people have actually. It would be interesting to have an Australian person maybe one time just come on and like explain some of the things. Because I have no idea, especially in 2021. You don't even know what to label anybody. You're just like a hi person, hi human, you know, because you don't want to offend anybody. But of course, other people are more out there. And then when I saw this woman referring to him as this guy as black, I was like, I don't know, maybe they refer to themselves as that. I don't know, because she looked like she's a native of Australia. 317, how you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Indiana. I this is just speculation because I haven't read it for sure, like in any news outlets myself. But someone in the comments, like a couple of people I had seen, were saying that this guy was the stepdad's drug dealer and that he owed him for drugs, apparently, like $250,000 or something.
I'm hearing little rumors like that, but I haven't found anything to confirm that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said speculation, but
right.
They were saying, like, I guess a source close to maybe the West Australian police or something maybe was giving that information out, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But I was just like, that was really that was information to me because I was really surprised when I saw that. But that would be crazy because if you look at that last picture of him, like the scars on his face, it's like kind of like what you would see like people who do meth, kind of.
Are you talking about Terence or the stepfather?
Yeah, Terence.
Oh, I don't see scars. He look like he got buttery smooth skin. I mean,
no,
which picture?
There was one picture that I saw. It looked like he had like kind of like scabs on his face. Yeah,
but
that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the call.
Thank you, man. Have a good day, baby.
You too. Thank you. Bye. Happy Friday.
You too. Happy Friday.
Thanks. And I saw some people in the chat too. They were saying that the lady referred to herself as black. I don't get caught up in all that stuff because I know people, they'll go on forever and they lose themselves. But I did hear her refer to herself like that, and the other guy as well. Whatever. The Aboriginal people. Cancel again. Cancel. 903. How you doing? Where you calling from? 903.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yes,
Hey.
welcome.
So that lady that was just on. So one of the guys, one of the channels went on yesterday. It was actually the Dad Challenge podcast, and he had a source in Australia, and that's what she was talking about with the $250,000 with the drug deal. So supposedly the stepdad had a high amount of money owed, so he actually delivered the older daughter, didn't take the little one, and then they kind of used the guy that was kind of like messed up in the head as kind of like a scapegoat. They wanted him to be caught so they could get the money for the reward because it was such a high amount, and that's what she was talking about. So it's supposed to be like, pay attention in the next couple days or so because the actual mom might have known some of this going on, but I think the stepdad might have been more involved than what people realize. I think. Sorry.
I'm curious to definitely to hear more about this. I mean, right now I'm just kind of conservatively listening a little bit, but I haven't seen anything confirmed yet.
You don't go down like crazy trails and stuff. But
it depends. Yeah, I try to be careful, but like you said, I have been hearing little rumblings, like little things kind of coming up about that.
And he
but
was already like mentally unstable. I think if the possibility or this saying was true, then they were wanting to get the reward because it was so high. And that's the problem with reward money, that people know that they can make a good amount of money. And if they set up some kind of little con on the backside, you know, it's kind of screwed up. But, you know, that's
right.
what she was talking about. All right. You have a great
So,
day.
yeah. Thanks.
What?
I'm gonna be looking to see, like you said, maybe something will come up in the next couple of days.
I know some of the people over there, so if I find something, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Nay said that Aboriginal is an offense, is a slur over there. Is it? So what are you supposed? What's the proper terminology? It's that thing is like a textbook definition type of thing. It says inhibiting or existing in a land from the earliest times before the arrival of colonists, indigenous. Or are you supposed to say indigenous people? Is that the right thing? I don't know all the terms. Maybe it's the indigenous people. I don't know. Are Aboriginals offended by the term Aboriginal? Everything's a slur, right? You don't even know what to say anymore. It's like, oh, okay. Canceled again, you insensitive bastard. 954. How you doing? Where you calling from?
What up, Mel?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, bro? I got canceled a couple times. How you doing, man? What do you think about this whole thing with I know we spoke a little bit earlier about Terence. You know
about Pinky from Friday.
Who's that?
Remember Pinky? Or you remember?
I seen
Pinky,
one of the
man,
Fridays. I didn't see all of them.
Friday, man. The one. The guy that had like the suit, he had the curly jersey.
Oh, bro. I was going to put it up on the screen, but I don't know. They might call you racist too. I don't know.
No, I'm a homeboy, man. You know, racist. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyways, bro. So like I was saying, look, all my favorite athletes always had a Jerry curl, right? Deion Sanders, Eric Dickerson, what's the running back from the Chicago Bears? Whatever, man. At the end of the day, man, that's just his style, man. You know, sometimes I know when I used to grow my hair and I used to have braids, and like I got out the shower and stuff, it looked like I had it looked like wet hair and stuff, you know, and it looked like kind of curl. But I don't know. I guess that's how he rocks it, bro. You know, ugly shit. But the only thing, what I think, Mel, on the situation is, okay, does this guy work? Like he lives in a house, right? Like a 2-door.
He lived in I forget the term of a house by the state or something. I forgot what it was called. What do they call it over there? He lived in something. I don't know that he was actually. Well, I know his grandmother passed, so I don't know if it was like already paid for. But he lived in a something house. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. I don't know he was actually paying for anything. But yeah, I don't know that he worked either. It doesn't seem like he worked.
Okay, so
housing housing
saying
commission. Housing commission. There you go. Community housing.
Okay, so
yeah.
So he's basically paying the housing, the light, the water. Do you think he's getting paid food as well? So what I'm trying to say is that he with his like how's he buying the dolls? You know what I'm saying? That has to come out of his pocket. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that like maybe somebody else is like funding him or some shit. Like it's odd, man. You know what I'm saying? Because how the fuck can this guy live by himself if he has problems and he's functioning right? And he's like right on the radar, like we talk, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, how can this be his first charge? You know? I think he has probably.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a history or not. I don't know if he has a history. I mean, I know they said that he didn't have a license, or I covered earlier today. He didn't have a license, you know, but he did have his car. But I don't know if he has like a history.
I'm gonna be real with you. If he was my dope dealer, I'm taking his shit. I don't give a fuck. You a chump. I'm taking all your weed. You have dolls. Give me your shit.
Wait, what? You would steal his dolls?
No, I'm taking his weed, his money, everything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's honest truth. You know, break yourself, motherfucker. I'm taking his shit. I'm taking everything. You know, that's probably what the dad did. He probably robbed him. So he was like, okay, guy robbed me or whatever. I'm gonna pay him back. And that's why I say he's probably connected with other people. If he's a dope dealer, they have to be connected with other people too.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy, man. Yeah, no idea, dude. There was when I covered.
The pirate eye, he cool, man. Like us Florida guys, man, we crazy. You know, white boys, black boys, Spanish boys, cheaper. We all crazy, man. We out here, man. You know.
Yeah.
Big ass pot mixed. You know.
Right. Well, thanks, Sylvia, man. Thanks for calling.
For sure, Papa.
All right, man. We'll talk, bro. Man. All right, you too. Peace, man. That's a regular. That's my friend. That's your friend. Well, it shows how it represents the person you are. I don't know. Whatever. 3, 2, 1. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, iCkEdMeL. I am calling from Orlando. What's going on?
Hey,
guys?
Florida. What's up? Welcome.
Not much. I'm literally at work trying to close out. Thank goodness I got some stuff I had to do, so I started watching you live. So there was just a couple of things that I wanted to call in about. I completely agree with the young lady who had called in before Silvio in regards to like reward money being such a major thing, because I watch way too many true crimes. So of course when this whole Cleo thing happened, I automatically assumed it was the parents. Or not automatically assumed, but I shifted my suggestions. Like maybe the parents have something to do with it, only because the first thing that popped up into my mind was the case that happened out in England, where the mom had hit her daughter with the help of her boyfriend's uncle for the reward money because she wanted to be as big as the Madeline McCain, I believe was her name. They wanted it to be a big deal like that. They find the little girl underneath a bed at the uncle's house. It's all of this for some money. So then you also have to realize that, of course, body language isn't universal. How we act here in America, of course, is not going to be the same way that those overseas act. So I can kind of see why a lot of us were like, look at the shifty eyes. They're not looking at the camera. They're not doing this. But we're not with an Australian person every single day to know what we may call sneaky might literally just be a nonchalant behavior. It's not even blinked at over there. So I definitely have to take that into consideration. But my main thing was the missing lady out in Cali. I feel like this is so wild, like it's a movie plot, and I'm like low-key just waiting for them to find her, and she's like siphoned all the money, and she's like, I just wanted to get away, and they're going to find her in some extradited island sitting on bank. Like, it's wild, it's crazy, because I'm just like, how does this happen? You got a multi-million-dollar company head looking for money. He's not worried. I need my property. I've got all this information on a personal. You get this high-ranking job based on who you know, not based on credentials. I'm literally waiting for this to be like a true life Gone Girl, but like on some reverse, you know, I'm away on an extradited island in like the French Polynesian and y'all can't touch me.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised too, because like I didn't know. I mean, I spoke to a family member yesterday, and they were telling me too, like, yeah, you don't need to be like licensed or go to school to do the things that she was doing. She was a bookkeeper, I guess, and she was making, I think, $125K plus a year, plus the $1,500 bonuses every month.
Listen,
making a lot of
I
money.
hate math, but if I'm making money like that, I'm about to go ahead and sit in class with my kids and relearn all of this stuff.
She's making good money. She didn't go to school, nothing. Wow.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So now it's like, and I think I'm actually looking at the live chat, and somebody said Ponzi scheme, and I can't help but to think that there was a situation with a lawyer down in South Florida, if you look at the case, and it's ironic because I just watched a video that somebody did on this. The guy was running a Ponzi scheme, and the lady, unfortunately, she ended up dying, and he's thinking that it had something to do with the Ponzi scheme because all of the lawyers in the South Florida law office knew about it. So I'm like, okay, so if dude is freaking out, maybe he's doing some undercover stuff. She was already upset that her name was already on a whole bunch. Maybe she decided to say, screw the pooch, took what she could and did.
Right. It's very possible. So I don't know, because the thing with me, I was leaning away from, I was like, it's possible this Jason guy, but I was like, let me wait to see what they say about the boyfriend. But then the boyfriend, she was the last person that she texted and asking him.
Yeah,
like she said she wanted. So now I'm kind of like looking at him less, like, because it's like, well, she was texting him for comfort. She wishes that he was there. So now I'm kind of looking back at this Jason guy, like, damn, You know.
Yeah, it's a weird case. I'm definitely going to be following this. I also want to let you know that you're doing an awesome job on the
Thank you.
Houston story. That story, yes. I don't I don't know if you'll remember, but if you go back, I actually did like a full like minute to minute breakdown because I was literally just intentionally like listening to it, and I'm just like listening to everything that goes on with all the quote unquote family and friends of Gloria and how we tried to help, and I'm just like, exactly how much help did we do? Because look at where we are now. So I don't understand why welfare checks weren't being done. You know, it rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like you're doing an amazing job covering it, and of course I will continue to, follow you following this case, as well as the gentleman who went missing after meeting the chick on Facebook. I'm definitely looking at that case based on your follow-up. So definitely doing a great job at what you do. I appreciate it. I'm constantly, seeing stuff from you, and I'm like, okay, Mel's got something. So I'm constantly finding out about these cases from you, and the work that you do, and just, the attention to detail, it's all real time. It's not, fluff for YouTube. It's not, lots of editing and all this other stuff. I feel like it's straight to the point. You give us facts, nothing behind it, no intentions of, trying to appease the masses. You say what it is. It is what it is. Very blunt, very honest. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
All right.
I'm going to let you guys go because I'm about to get out of work, and I'm going to continue to keep watching the live, though.
All right. Thank you. All right.
All right. Have a great day, honey.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Appreciate that. Last call. And today was just really just kickback. I've been really just behind the scenes putting out stories and videos and updating stuff. I have a playlist for Heidi. I don't know if I have a playlist for Cleo. If I don't, I'm going to make one. And I just kind of wanted to get a sense of what you guys were thinking. I wasn't even really going to come on today. I've been doing something what I call planting the seed. So that's mostly what I've been doing. But I just kind of wanted to come in and check and say, hola. Hola. 614, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, hello.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? I'm calling from Australia, man.
Okay. How you doing? Thanks for calling.
Good. No, of course. It's early here, so I'm sure there would be more Aussies on the chat if they were actually awake.
Right.
Yeah.
What can you tell me, man?
Yeah, what questions do you guys have?
Okay. Is indigenous offensive or what do they say? Not indigenous, sorry, but is Aboriginal considered offensive there or?
Well, currently, indigenous would be the safest word.
The safest word. Okay.
But there are people that still say Aboriginals, and some Aboriginals call themselves Aboriginals. So you kind of wait for them to use a word. But if you're not too sure, depending on the social setting, I'll just go with indigenous and leave it that. Kind of leave it simple there. But yeah.
Cool, man. Thank you. And do you live anywhere near this area of where this whole situation happened?
No, so I'm based in Brisbane, which is like on the east side of Australia. So they're kind of way over the other side. They currently, because of COVID, we're jokingly calling them another country because they've had their own thing going for the whole time. But the whole sentiment in Australia in general has been like kind of relief. Like everyone's sort of happy that the girl was able to be found and everything looks kind of fine, because when you're living in the cities, those guys, where they're at, it's so far away that it's almost kind of disconnected in some sense. And those sort of places also have a lot of indigenous people living there. That's why that guy has that curly hair. It's actually quite natural, especially if they've just come out of the shower or anything like that. It will definitely look like that until it dries up. So all that is pretty normal for being indigenous, and depending on the region they're from, they can be completely disconnected, and they all speak completely different languages as well. So they may all look similar, but they could be from completely different sort of tribes and backgrounds.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, man. Thought I'd just come on and quickly clear up some questions. I'm not sure what other people were saying.
Some people were saying
situation.
Yeah, some people were saying there was rumors that maybe there was some drug stuff involvement. And I mean, have you heard anything about that? Those speculations as far as drugs and I don't know, that the parents knew this guy or something.
look, from where they are, like a lot of the indigenous communities have that problem standard, pretty much. Like drugs is just rampant through their alcohol and all that stuff. So, like, it might well be a part of it, but no one would be surprised given the location as well. So for a lot of us, like, that's not really on our radar because we almost kind of think, well, those areas are known to have that sort of stuff going on. But as far as that being the main headline for, like, why she was taken, none of us, no one here, I don't think is speculating with that. Maybe, on Facebook or whatever, but that's not really the tone at the moment. In general, here, everyone's just happy, cool, she's back. All the news channels are just saying, oh, yeah, they spent the night cuddling and they're all catching up. So that's not really the sentiment here at the moment.
Okay. All right. Awesome, man. Thank you. Let me see real quick too if there's any other questions. But yeah, I appreciate you calling in and clearing a little bit of that up.
Yeah, no worries, man. I thought, it gets a bit confusing.
I guess that's it then. But yeah, thank you so much for calling, man. I appreciate it. All right.
No worries, man. I'll be listening on, and if anything about Australia comes up, I might just call you if I have some time.
All right. Thank you. Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Catch you, man.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
That was nice. Yeah. As far as the drug thing, whatever, that's all rumors that I've heard people. That's why this lady at the beginning too, I saw her kind of going off and off. I don't know if there's truth or not, but I was like, we'll wait and see if there's anything that actually comes from that. I mean, right now, and the drug thing too, just to me, it still doesn't make sense about this guy. So what they decided to get a doll guy to hold the child, I think that it seemed like this guy had some sort of, I don't know, fascination with, I might have to block this guy. It's kind of annoying. This guy in the chat, yo, like, come on. Somebody just blocked this guy already. But listen, like I said, I think it's amazing that she's found and safe, alive, because we never hear of things like that, really. Most of the time, it's like some sort of horrible story, especially here in the U.S. Bratz dolls. Yo, Elaine says Bratz dolls ain't cheap. My daughter used to get that Bratz doll stuff, but it was weird, man, because some of those things, what they wearing under and stuff, I was like, is this really for kids? Weren't they wearing, I don't know what they were wearing. Weren't they wearing like panties and stuff under there and like all this? I mean, I guess everybody wears that, I guess, but something about it that I didn't like. Plus, it's a mess. Those things don't they come in? Is that or am I thinking of the LOL dolls? Maybe I'm thinking of the LOL dolls. Whatever it is these kids are into now. LOL doll. Why didn't he have LOL dolls? The LOL dolls are a mess. And supposedly there was this whole conspiracy thing where, like, if you dip them in cold water, some of them turn and they have like lingerie. I don't even know if that's true or not, but I heard some sort of thing like that a long time ago. The LOL dolls are a mess, man. The pieces everywhere. It was sexy lingerie. And a lot of people have all kinds of different things that they're into, right? They have all kinds of little, I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it fetish or vices or whatever. Dolls. Vices, immoral or wicked behavior. Oh, he did have Barbies too. Yeah, that's true. He had Barbies. Collector's edition. He seemed like some of them were packaged up. It's like he really cherished it or something, or like I don't know if he was planning on reselling it. The lady speaking in the video about the situation at the beginning of live is well known and respected. Needs to be taken seriously. I think for that video, I'm gonna look at her profile and see if there's anything else. I think it's a little hard to follow not being native over there, or I don't know. I don't even know what the term is anymore. Not being from Australia. Cancel. Her name is Corina and Hayden Howard. That's the Facebook page. I wonder if she posted anything else. Ooh. She's still going off too. She said, police, I was going to do a voice, but I was like, let me not do that because these people. Police better tell the truth. Mother was friends with Terry Kelly. Their drug dealer abducted their daughter. Terry Kelly on a basic card, intellectually disabled. Oh, hold on. Let's take a look at that real quick. Or I could just read it. I don't know, man. She's claiming some stuff. I want to be careful to it giving too much light to some of that stuff, but she's claiming that Terry Kelly was on a basic card, intellectually disabled, plus has a prosthetic leg. I don't know if that's true or not. Police aren't telling the truth. She popping off, man. She been going back to back to back. I don't know. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm from 4 hours north of where this happened. I don't know. Yeah, did he really beat himself up? I don't know. They're saying this guy was in all kinds of Facebook groups too, frozen Facebook. What else? It is strange, man. It is strange the way he was able to, this guy, the dolls guy was able to, come up with this whole scheme. I mean, was it just completely this guy one day just out of nowhere just got an impulse to go and do it? Was he planning for a while? They had gotten their her mother Ellie and Jake and Cleo and the other sibling. They got there Friday, October 15th. And by Saturday night, early morning hours, Cleo was already gone. They had gotten there in the evening, October 15, around 6:30 p.m. And then the same night, the same evening, kind of into the morning hours, she was taken. So, was this guy out there just hanging around and nobody out there noticed this one guy that was kind of, he to me, he kind of stands out unless everybody's out there rocking Bratz shirts and stuff like that. He kind of stands out a little bit, That's crazy. Not even 24 hours into the camping trip, Cleo was already gone. Shit, not even 12 hours, really. Not even 12. Wow. I don't know that background checks would work over here like that because they're in Australia. I don't know how that would work out. He followed the mom on social media and shared well, he had a bunch of profiles there, so he might have been under some other names as well, following the profiles. Yeah, he lived, I think, like 7 minutes away from the family. Where a guy lived with a real life doll. Damn. I mean, I don't know. The Brat shirt, I mean, if I see some guy with that, I would probably think in my head, maybe he has kids or something, you know, like maybe he has, or the Frozen shirt, maybe he has kids. That would be my thought if I didn't know the person. Yo, the private investigator, man. Yeah, it's in a database. Okay. I mean, yeah, I would be super weirded out if I mean, the shirt, I mean, 2021, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but a room, a house full of dolls and stuff like that, yeah, I'd be kind of freaked out. Like if you're like, hey, Mel, come over for some beer, and we get there and there's just dolls everywhere, I'll be concerned, yo. I'll try to find how to like get out of that situation. Probably stop calling them. I mean, the interesting thing is that she's fine, and I guess, you know, I don't know what was his motive. If we'll ever even find out. And they said he was snapping in court, screaming, going off on the media. He did wink. He did wink. Yo, so remember the picture we were just looking at? Because I was like, yo, that looks like a wink. But maybe it's just the sun. I mean, I don't know. They're saying this guy, and this is the NY Post, so, you know, take away ground song. Man charged with taking Cleo gives creepy wink on the way to jail. He owned a large collection of them. One of his social media profiles is a Facebook page devoted entirely to toys. Yeah, it's like a wink. Very intentional too, because there's one thing. I mean, he could be squinting, but because of the sun. But it does look very intentional. It's like a hard wink too. Like he wanted to make sure they get it on camera. You know. We talked about this earlier. I love taking my dolls for a drive around and doing their hair and taking selfies. I mean, maybe he didn't have much friends. Like they said, he was a loner, so he kind of like stuck to himself. I don't know, man. Maybe he just has, you know, something happen in his childhood. Maybe he never intended to do any harm. But he just looks a lot different in this photo than the other ones. I guess somebody was saying the filter. Maybe the filter. I know the filter these days. A lot of these people got filters on. You don't even know what they look like anymore. You see them in person and you're like, whoa. Some of these people, every picture on their profile is a filter. You have no idea what they look like. Damn. Yeah, I covered all this earlier today. The cryptic message about being careful on. Isn't that weird too? Like, or ironic? Like giving advice. Be careful online. I can't accept friend requests from strangers. I live a private life. And I respect those who are on my friend list to ensure their privacy is respected too. It's like he's telling his people that you better respect his privacy because I respect yours. Kind of like a backhanded way of telling them to respect his privacy, the people that are on there. Us adults have to be careful online too. Maybe that's going to be the future. Maybe the future is like the private investigator said, and that you're gonna have to put chips in these kids. People are gonna, after a while with all these crimes going on, people are probably gonna voluntarily take a chip. The kids are gonna get chipped. The adults are gonna get chipped. Nobody's ever gonna go missing again. That may be coming in the future. I mean, they already have the clothes and stuff. They already got the phones and the toys and all. Hope, hey, from Australia here. It's an Aboriginal, in quotes, indigenous housing. They have their own lingo among their community. There can be a lot of issues with drugs and alcohol. That's what somebody did message me about that too. And they told me that's an issue that they have in some of the communities over there, like drugs and alcohol and that kind of stuff. Randy said, wow, thank God I was only obsessed with Bart dolls for a short time. I spent 10,000 or 1,000 on those dolls, looking like he spent 20,000. Good thing her name is Cleo. Bro, will you get a chip, Mel? Probably not. No, I don't think I would. No, I think it's kind of invasive. But we may be going there to the future for sure. For sure. And I wonder what happens if everybody gets chipped. Are people still going to go missing? Are they going to have devices that neutralize the chips? Right? They're going to have like a EMP type of device or something that now they're just going to disable whatever chip it is that you have inside you, and people will still go missing. No chips. Yeah, the tip-off thing is interesting. Maddie said, I'm in Western Australia, and this was pure ineptitude from the police from day one, and now they're saying there was no tip-off, so they don't have to pay out the $1 million. I think that's what the lady in the beginning was trying to say, too. Supposedly, she was saying that somebody tipped it off, and they didn't listen, or somebody should have got that reward money, but they didn't want to pay the reward money. I think the way things are going, people are going to voluntarily get the chip. I mean, look at what's going on now. Right? All you got to do is add the fear. They'll submit. Let me read the super chats real quick, and then I actually gotta head out too. Yeah, I didn't realize. Yo, thank you guys so much for joining. Let me read these real quick. Carly, the lady is everything. Love you, Mel. Love you too. Thank you, Carly. Matt, curly hair is natural for Aboriginals. Well, they're saying that's offensive. Now it's what is it? Natives, right? Or indigenous. But thank you though. K19, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna be back tonight on Discord, members. We're gonna be talking about this Jason situation a little bit, and then we're gonna probably watch something after. But thank you so much for coming by. I hope you guys stay safe. Thank you for stopping by Friday. If you haven't seen the Heidi Planck videos, after I end this, I'll put the playlist down below so you can check that out. And also Cleo, I'll try to make a playlist if you're missing out on that. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Peace. I can't stand this, like the eyebrow thing. It's like too clean.